Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another SkySwitch webinar. I'm Andy Abramson, the Chief Marketing Officer from SkySwitch, and we are really delighted to have you all here today to join us in what we expect to be a very informative and complete dive into what's new with Yealink. We're really fortunate to be joined by the Jenne team. Jenne is one of the SkySwitch distribution channel partners who make it possible for you to receive and purchase so many great products through the SkySwitch store. With us today, we have Craig Rocco, Yealink's Business Development Manager at Jenne. Craig's going to be leading the discussion, and he's going to be supported when necessary by Joseph Rusterheyer, Yealink's Product Manager, and Anthony Johnson, Yealink's Business Development Specialist at Jenne. Welcome all. Today is going to be fun. You're going to hear all about the different products, what's new, what's been updated. So with that, and not to waste any time, I want to turn it over to Craig Rocco, Yealink's Business Development Manager at Jenne. Good morning, Craig, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Andy. Thank you for having us as well, too, and happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. As far as the agenda for today, we have a brief overview, as Andy mentioned, of the latest new products from Yealink. They're very relevant in today's marketplace, namely the UH36 USB headset and the CP700 and CP900 personal conference phones. And we'll also provide a brief review of the Yealink T5 series phones and let you know about some of the improvements that have been added to the new version 85 firmware update that's just been announced. Andy, I think many of your SkySwitch partners, as you mentioned, are very familiar with Jenne. Although for those of you who are not familiar with us, why choose Jenne? Well, Jenne is a fully integrated into your SkySwitch dashboard. So you can easily place your Yealink orders directly from the SkySwitch store as you do today, auto-provision and auto-populate your MAC addresses right back in the dashboard, and then drop ship your phones directly to your end user customer. And Andy, we hear that one of the big things that we offer that benefits your customer is the free 2-day shipping on all orders placed over $200, and we can ship those orders up to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So we can accommodate those last-minute orders that are so common in the marketplace today during COVID-19. And as far as Yealink, we can assist with all your Yealink needs. We are a Yealink full-line platinum distributor, maintaining high inventory levels. And we have an entire team, as Andy mentioned, dedicated to guide you through Yealink's comprehensive product offering of IP desk phones, the cordless DECT sets, conference phones, and the video solutions. We can assist with all Yealink discount programs, current promotions available, including your product demo requests. We can register your products quickly, typically overnight. We also provide the best pricing to win those opportunities. Right now, that can be up to an extra 8% opportunity if it's a COVID-19 opportunity. We handle pre-sales and post-sales support, product questions, your tech tickets, your service requests, as well as any kind of custom API services that you need to integrate into the Yealink services as well too. And again, easily contacted by just emailing us at yealink@jenne.com. I'd like to start introducing you to the new UHS-36 USB headsets that Yealink just announced. As we know, with the current COVID-19 situation, headsets are hard to come by and in high demand as many of us continue to work from home. Yealink's timing to expand their offering, it could not be a better time to have emerge with these new headsets. The new UH36 headset is offered in 2 wearing styles, both a mono and a binaural version. And since this is a new product, Yealink is now manufacturing these products in a very limited supply and shipping to the United States. So we suggest if you would like to try these new headsets to place a back order with us, as we expect to get these back in stock in the upcoming weeks.
Craig, how many weeks do you think that will be to give everybody some insight? Is it 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, just so our resellers can get a handle on it, because no one wants to promise and not deliver?
Yep, certainly, Andy. So our first limited order arrived last week. Unfortunately, we ran out in literally hours. And the second order that we were also limited for is shipping ocean freight. So we shipped those in air, and then the second shipment is going to be shipped ocean. And we should be getting those in pending any kind of customs delays, I would say within about 4 to 5 weeks. So that's what our expectations, and that's after they actually manufacture the product and ship it. So supposedly they're going to be hopefully be shipping in the next week or two. So just pending the final manufacturing as well too.
Great.
Thanks for asking. As you can see on the slide, the UH36 is a USB wired headset, and it's especially designed for unified communications. So it's perfect for everything from the call center application to the remote home office worker right now. It has a very high quality audio and provides exceptional wearing comfort. It's integrated with the Yealink IP phones, so it's ideal for use for both calls and for even listening to music. It's very competitively priced. The MSRP on the UHS-36 Dual is $89, and the UHS-36 Mono is $74 MSRP. So it comes in under most of the other price points of the competing models out there today. Simple to connect, and very flexible to use. So it includes both USB and 3.5 millimeter jack connectivity options. So as you can see, the 3.5 millimeter jack plugs right into the inline adapter, and then the other end is USB. So it can be simply modified for either 3.5 millimeter connections, most of the time USB 2.0. So you're able to use that in many different devices, such as IP phones, computers, your smartphones and tablets, and it's also fully certified to work on Microsoft Teams. UHS-36, a perfect match for Yealink IP phones. As I mentioned, it provides you optimized audio quality and more enhanced feature options, such as redial, hold, volume synchronization, and even multiple call controlling when updating to the newest version 85 and above firmware. Yealink's proven reliability of products and integration with the USB Connect software, the Yealink device management platform, if you're familiar with that, and also the cloud service. So all three of those allow for easy management of the device. The Yealink dynamic equalization and wideband high definition audio technology, this provides audio performance to make every conversation rich and clear. It's just an excellent audio quality. It has passive noise cancellation, and the noise canceling microphone both eliminate background noise and really enhances that audio privacy that so much of it's needed right now in a busier and more noisy office as well too, or even a home office, because such as a dog barking or some noise in the background or an air conditioner coming on. So it really eliminates all those noise very, very effectively.
It's great that it does all the acoustic cancellation and background, but what about the comfort, Craig? How comfortable are these to wear, being that people are wearing them almost all day?
Good question, Andy. So we just sent our demos out last week, and basically we had very good feedback on those. So the cushioning, they say, is a little bit bigger than the competition, very lightweight. They like the style of the cushioning. The boom microphone is very similar to other manufacturers in the marketplace, which is very competitive. So it's a very ergonomic, lightweight design. It's very breathable as far as the headset cushions, and that makes it perfect for long conference calls and comfortable enough that you can wear it all day long.
That's super. You know, everybody knows that Yealink is phones. Now you've talked about headsets, but a lot's changing with more people remotely working, more people working from home. And in the old days, people like me traveling on the road, and we don't like to hold the handset next to our ear. You know, you always heard the rumors about cell phones, things like that. Yealink has really dived into the whole idea of personal conference devices. Can you take us through some of the new ones that Yealink has rolled out?
Sure, Andy. Yep, it's very relevant right now. As you mentioned, CP700 and the CP900 are Yealink's offering for personal conference phones. These items are both readily available in stock, and it's perfect timing for the current market situations as well too, where you can actually use these devices, USB or Bluetooth. They're economical, and they're very lightweight, and they're very flexible, so you can take those around the home, around the office, outside in the patio, anywhere you have to go ahead and continue a call as well too. And as mentioned, mobility and productivity, they're very important when people are away from the office and working from home. And Yealink CP900 and 700 personal speakerphones are ideal for solutions like on the go, even a work from home user who still needs to communicate and collaborate in the same manner as the office, no matter where they're working.
Craig, these are pretty small, aren't they? How light and how small are they?
Yep, very good point. So very small. the next slide will show you how big, but they're typically the size of your portable speaker you see in the marketplace. I think they're a little bit thinner than most. We'll kind of go through that right now. The high-end CP900 and the lower price CP700, they both have the flexibility to choose which one works better for them. Both these solutions are certified again with Microsoft Teams as well. And the price point on the CP900 MSRP is $199, and then the CP700 is $129. So I think ideally the CP700 is ideal for that single user, and then the CP900 more for a collaboration or maybe a huddle room as well too, or maybe somewhere in the home office that you just need a little more range when you're walking around as well too. And again, as far as size, you're looking at very small size. So you're seeing 120 millimeters right now on the CP700. So it fits very nicely into the zipper bag, which can be put into a compact and small briefcase, or you can basically take a very small footprint in your home office as well too. So very lightweight design, slim, compact for easy transportability as well too.
What about the audio in the room? I mean, you set one of these on a table, you have 4 or 5 people sitting around the table who are taking part, or maybe you're in a airport lounge and you've rented a private office in the airport lounge. You get all the background noise, doors opening, people walking by. What's Yealink done to make these allow the new devices to provide a better audio experience for the people on the other end, as well as the person using it?
Good question, Andy. So Yealink has taken their time before they came to market with this product, and their product actually has 6 beam-forming microphones, and that provides a complete 360-degree voice pickup. So it's for unprecedented full duplex audio quality. Whoever's tried these in the past and compared to other manufacturers is basically able to see and listen to that difference, even by just even hook it up by Bluetooth to a smartphone for a conference call. You really can see and hear the difference of that high audio experience, and including the acoustic echo cancellation and the noise suppression, which help that with that crystal clear call and that processing as well.
Craig, I don't know about you, but I carry an iPad. I've got a couple smartphones. I also have my laptop, my MacBook or Chromebook, and I like to have multiple devices connected so I don't have to always go, oh, connect now, disconnect now. What are some of the functions that you've got within the product set that Yealink's offering that help solve that problem?
So good question. So Yealink does solve that problem by actually having simultaneously 2 devices connected at one time. So you can actually have your cell phone connected, and at the same time you can have your laptop connected, or you can plug it into a telephone as well too. So it allows you to have that flexibility. If you're getting a call on your cell phone, you're getting a call maybe through your computer on a soft phone. Basically, you can still answer those calls without resetting it back up, plugging it back in. So basically, you're pretty much set up for success on this device with that multiple connectivity option as well too. In addition to that,
to understand that a little clearer, I can have 2 devices connected to it, but can I have multiple devices in a profile so that when I get home and I'm using my home computer versus my computer at work, I don't have to constantly reset the settings and then it just replaces one of the 2? Is that how it works?
I think so, Andy. I haven't tried it on multiple items in 2 different locations, but when we have done that at the office, I know that it's simple to hook up. Once it's registered for the first time, it'll save that registration. So if it sees that again, it's going to recognize that as one of the prior devices that the Bluetooth has paired up with in the past. So
the same way that your devices work with Wi-Fi, where it saves that Wi-Fi SSID, it saves that Bluetooth profile. That's great, because what this means is you can share them between people in an office or at home, and different people with different devices can just switch in and switch out. Great feature.
Yep, great. And again, voice assistant Teams button on the model for Teams as well too. So if your customers do have some Teams opportunities, this is also a certified Teams opportunity as well too for that. As you mentioned, both Bluetooth and USB connectivity options. So you have the flexibility of different usage scenarios. And again, so from a laptop to a tablet to your mobile phone, and up to 2 simultaneous connections as well too.
I think that's a real important feature, that it can have so many simultaneous connections and the ability to remember, plus USB, which is a great fallback for everybody. Craig, we've talked about headsets, we've talked about speakerphones that can travel with you, but we all know that the bread and butter of Yealink's business is the phone, the desktop phone. And over the past few months, a lot has happened. You've gone from the T4s being the flavor of the year to the new T5 series business phone. And a lot is really baked into the T5s. And I think it would be really helpful to our resellers so they can talk to their customers about Yealink's new line. You can talk about the importance of upgrading to the new T5 line.
Absolutely, Andy. So you're absolutely right. Yealink has done a really good job launching the product, and very quickly it has adopted customers to transition immediately over to that T5 series phones as well too. So reason why upgrade to the T5s? T4 series still remains in the product line. They have no immediate plans for end-of-lifing the product right now, but the new T5 series phones are now the primary phone for Yealink as an upgrade to the T4S phones, as Andy mentioned. Includes the latest generation of enhancements, both from a feature perspective as far as hardware and functionality standpoint, both. They cater to the enterprise customer. They increase bottom line revenue with a much lower price point with much more features built in, not needing the optional accessories. They provide greater feature flexibility for those customers who are not only pursuing a better user experience, but they're just attracted to the unique enhanced features of all those T5 series features that are built in. And most importantly, with an average price difference only 5% above the equivalent T4 series price, that's the primary reason why people are transitioning quickly into the T5 series. So they can be more competitive and win more opportunities against their competition at a lower price point. So even as we mentioned, the T4S series are extremely popular. The T5S series includes a lot of features that the T4 series just don't have. The 4 key features of the T5 series phones are as displayed. Adjustable large screen display, both built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, a corded-cordless opportunity, and acoustic noise shield cancellation. And we'll get in some of those.
Why is acoustic, Craig, let's talk about acoustic noise cancellation. And Yealink, like many of the manufacturers, have all really dived into that. But can you elaborate on how it works and why it's so important? Because I think more and more people need it, especially as they're no longer working in a close-the-door office environment and when they're working at home, obviously.
Yep. So as far as the acoustic noise cancellation feature, we're going to go ahead and just let's go right to that right now. So this is the last new feature that they added to the phones. So during a call, when you're using the phone handset or when you're connected to either an RJ9, USB, Bluetooth, or DECT headset, the user can just click the screen to turn on this function. The feature uses multiple microphones and it acts like a shield to block out all surrounding noises and only picks up the voice of the caller. This makes the T5 series phones especially ideal for noisy environments, call centers, factories, home offices, anything where you're going to have a lot of noise and you want to eliminate that noise completely. So very good question. At a glance, the entire T5 series family. So everything from the entry-level T53 phone to the most powerful Android-based SIP phone on the market, the new VP59. These phones offer a lot of value with all the cutting-edge features that end users are now looking for. Briefly, the phones are separated into 3 tiers. Starting in the bottom, you have your prime business phones, the 53, 53W, 54W, and 57W. The W suffix indicates built-in Wi-Fi, and they're also Linux-based on that tier of phones. The second tier are the smart business phones, the T58A and the T58A with camera. Those are Android-based phones with 7-inch touchscreens. And then the highest tier is the Yealink flagship smartphone, the VP59, which is an Android-based phone, but it has an 8-inch touchscreen and HDMI ports. So all the models also include both built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and also include an open USB port, very important, except for the model T53, which can utilize Bluetooth or Wi-Fi by adding an optional USB dongle. The T53 is out there for the lowest price point. So if you need to win an opportunity and you want to maintain that opportunity into a T5 series phone for continuity or among the installation, you can utilize that. And then obviously, you can use the BT41 Bluetooth dongle on the 53 or the WF50 Wi-Fi dongle.
7 different product SKUs ranging in price from what to what?
MSRP, want to say $199, Joe, on the T53 MSRP, all the way up to the VP59, which is a part of the video conferencing solution. So that's on the higher in price side, about maybe $699.
So a wide range of solution sets, and both wired and wireless, as well as a smart desk phone with Android. Sounds like Yealink
Correct.
is really giving something for everybody that a reseller can then sell at different price points into their customer base based on a couple of factors: money, need, and function. So not everybody needs that big VP59 on their desk, maybe the CEO and the top officers of a company, but certainly the T53, which offers Wi-Fi as well as price convenience, is certainly something that people should be thinking about.
Great point. The other one of the 4 features we mentioned earlier too has an adjustable LCD screen. So all the T5 series phones have this built in. This allows the user to adjust the screen to different viewing angles to provide them with the best visual experience from all angles. Quick and easy. Just protect your eyes against glare, or in this environment, pretty much you can working from home or work at the office. You can use a Veridesk. You can either stand in front of your desk or just adjust the height of their seat for comfort. Yealink's adjustable LCD screen can flexibly support those needs quickly and easily on the fly.
Craig, I think the point you made needs to be really underscored. All of the devices you're saying in the T5 series have this adjustable screen moving feature, correct?
That's correct. 130 degrees forward to back, correct.
I think that's an important feature for people. You know, we always talk about carpal tunnel and typing, but what we often forget about is eye strain. And what this does is it helps eliminate eye strain, which is more and more people are getting older, and as more and more people are working in different heights, like you're showing a Veridesk or an adjustable chair. The phones of old were all made one way, and this really means you can have it your way.
You can, Andy. And not only that, as you can see in the animation, that you're flexible to flex that forward and back for the full 130 degrees. You're not limited to those the previous generation of phones, where basically you had to go ahead and just adjust at certain viewing angles. It was a 1, 2, or 3 clickable stops. So this is very convenient, and pretty much, as we mentioned, you can just do it on the fly.
What about connectivity? Obviously, the T5 series has great features like the adjustable screen, and you talked earlier about Wi-Fi, but what about overall connectivity with Bluetooth as well?
Yep, so very good question. So the big attractive features to the Yealink series right now is that with the exception of the T53, all the phones have built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. If you had to add those separately to the prior T4 generation phones, you'd have to use an optional USB dongle in order to add one feature, either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, but you couldn't add both simultaneously for those users who need both. There's just no ability to add those on the T4 series and the T5 series, having those both features and having an open USB port for third-party integration for maybe a DECT headset or another application for that as well too. It's much more cost-effective, and there's no concerns about losing an extra dongle that somebody plugs into the back of the phone where somebody may accidentally take it off or misplace it. So much more reliable and no concerns. Great feature on the T5 series is also the option of working as a wireless DECT base station with the addition of just a DD10K USB dongle. So when you install one wireless DECT phone, the first DECT phone operates in clone mode, and that gives you access to the user access to the same line and contacts as the base phone. In other words, users can pick up a call on either the DECT phone or the desk phone, and then pick up the device and transfer it to one or the other as needed to continue the call. You can walk over, you can start the call on your desk. You can pick up the cordless to go get a cup of coffee, come back to your desk and pick up the desk phone simultaneously without disconnecting the call. When a phone call comes in, both devices ring simultaneously, so you have the option to answer that call on either of the devices. You can also connect up.
Craig, let me ask a question. That's not acting as a DECT base station. It's simply acting as a DECT extender to the cordless device, so that the phone and that particular handset, the cordless handset, are cloned, correct?
Correct. What really it includes is that the T5 series base phone does not require any other DECT service to connect to. It is the base. It is the server per se. So that has all the technology of a W80, W60B base, right? So you don't need any other DECT product to manage those cordless devices, which is very, very important that you mentioned, Andy. So basically plug in a DECT dongle, and now all you have to do is add simply just the W56 or W53 extra handsets. That's all you need to do. You don't need to install any other DECT device or any kind of service. It's all done with just the phone and the additional devices.
And then if somebody walks into your office with their DECT handset, that acts as the base station, so they're able to connect to it, but they're not cloning your phone on their phone. They're simply using their phone, and your desk phone is acting as the base. That's a great feature.
It absolutely is. That first DECT phone, when you install it on the phone for somebody who just wants a mobility solution, that goes into that pairing mode for that cloning mode. That's just that one user. And as soon as that user has some other associates that only need a wireless DECT phone, as shown in the office photo, basically you can add up to 4 different devices, and those 4 wireless devices can then be run off that one single desk phone. So you got some mobility workers who just need a cordless phone, and basically that turns that T5 series phone into a very powerful Yealink DECT base station that works wirelessly independently of everybody else too. So that's called satellite mode. So operates both in cloning mode.
Craig, from a privacy standpoint, there's only one cloned phone, and then everything else is just accessing the network. Again, another good feature from Yealink.
Absolutely. We talked about the acoustic shield already. And as mentioned earlier too, I want to really highlight the newest firmware upgrade that has just been released by Yealink, which adds some great features to the T5 series phones, which have been very, very much supported. We're looking forward to supporting that as well too. So this new firmware release, version 85, available for downloading now on Yealink's support website, from the low to mid-level T5 phones, will all have unified firmware. So from the 53, 54, and 57, you now can manage those with one firmware update as you have in the T4S series models as well too. So 53 through 57, great idea. It saves people a lot less time for provisioning. You have one firmware for all 3 models. In addition, they've also added Bluetooth functionality, which now gives you capability of offering the CP700 and CP900 right to the desk phone. So now you can use those nice portable devices by Bluetooth to any of the T5 series phones. So you can use these personal conference phones as a speakerphone. They've also added additional DECT phone capability. So in addition to the 53 and 56 phones, now you could add a CP930 wireless conference phone as well too, as well as if you have a desk phone that you want to place somewhere, let's say in your home office, and you have electricity, but you don't really have any network connection, then you can take your desk phone, as an example here, the W41P, and then basically just place that somewhere with the DECT dongle, and then boom, and now you're connected to the T5 series phone. So these additional features really allow you to take full advantage of the capabilities the T5 series provide.
Craig, you're talking about DECT here as part of the firmware update, and also you mentioned it earlier. I think you've got another slide that you can talk about the whole conference room environment as well as what Yealink is doing with DECT phones. Why don't you start with the conference phones?
Great. Thanks, Andy. So at a glance, are Yealink's solutions for conference and DECT phones. So there's 3 models of conference phones for different meeting environments. The CP960 is for mid to large size meeting rooms. Comes with or without the wireless mics included, and you can also buy them separately. The CP920 to the right is for small to mid-sized meeting rooms. And the most popular, newest to the market is the CP930 wireless DECT conference phone. Great for huddle rooms, wireless meetings, just taking that on the go at a very good price point. The CP930 is completely wireless It connects to the W60 DECT base station, which it comes with. It provides up to 150 feet indoor range and up to 1,000 feet outdoor range. So it's an ideal solution from working from home, taking that conference phone outside, taking different rooms, and allows you to have a conference call from practically any room in your house.
Okay, when you're saying that distance, that's the distance between the CP930 WP and the DECT base station, not how far it'll pick up your voice, I bet.
That's correct. Yep, that's correct. So it sets how far away from the W60B base station that you can roam while still being in range.
So that leads right into the DECT phone series that Yealink has, and they've got some doozies. What are the new ones?
So the new ones are the W60. Everybody's familiar with the W60P. The newest one is the W53P handset. They all support up to 8 handsets, so you can do 8 simultaneous calls. And the W41P, as we related to before as well too, that provides a wireless desktop DECT solution. It converts a desktop phone such as the T41S and also for the T42S, and with the addition of a DD10K dongle for a very insignificant cost, now you turn that phone into a wireless desktop SIP phone. For those locations that just may not have an Ethernet plug, as previously mentioned, nearby, or just putting it somewhere in a corner or a workstation, or even for an application for as your restaurants open up. Maybe somebody needs something at a patio, just some temporary, or a kiosk in a mall. So a lot of good applications with the DECT series as well.
So that turns a non-wireless phone that doesn't, the non-Wi-Fi Yealink 41 into a DECT phone, giving them portable coverage anywhere. I always like to refer to those phones as portable phones versus mobile phones, because we think of mobile phones like the iPhone or the Androids. So you plug in the dongle, and now you've got it connected to a base station that could be 150 feet away or even 30 feet away. Great in restaurants, as you mentioned, also hotels and places where older buildings that don't have the ability to be Ethernet connected, you can just populate these around those places. Like, for example, old train stations are covered by, in the United States, are covered by the National Historic Registry rules and regulations. You can't drill. And this is a great way to have connectivity that in places where there isn't any. I think it's great.
Yeah, great point, Andy. It really is. Really good solutions.
And where you need a desk phone versus just a cordless. Why don't you tell us all about the team? There's Craig. Tell us about the rest of the guys on your team.
So great. So Jenne's Yealink team, as we mentioned, is dedicated on the Yealink product line at Jenne. We have Anthony Johnson, and he's the Yealink business development specialist, and Joe, and he's our Yealink product manager as well too. So we can assist with anything, any of your needs for Yealink. We're there, Monday through Friday. We have one centralized email that we highly recommend that you email that email to your salesperson when you're engaging your Yealink salesperson at Jenne. It doesn't hurt to go ahead and just carbon copy yealink@jenne.com for all your needs. Even if you're integrating Yealink with some door strikes or for some SIP paging or any other kind of PoE switches or routers or gateways, we can also assist you in configuring and the support for that as well too. So. And with that, we thank you very much for taking the time today, Andy, to have our team join you on the overview. And we definitely want to reach out to everybody and let them know. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions on the materials we covered, or if you'd like more information on the products reviewed today.
Well, that's a great bridge to our Q&A session. Now we've got a bunch of questions from the audience, so why don't we just dive into it right away. The first question comes from Mark Rowe. He wants to know what the transmission range is of the DECT dongle, meaning how far can you set one apart from the device?
Good question. Typically, I know when you're in a DECT scenario, there is different channels. I know when we're seeing those installed in an application diagram, they're fairly close together. What we can do is we can get back to Mark exactly on the distance between the phones and the DECT dongle. Obviously, for an office environment, you should be able to connect those. There's going to be a limit how many channels they can choose, the different channels, but we can get back to you with the range and the channel. The range of the DECT dongle should be that 150 feet internally, pending interference with the lighting and the materials in the building, such as metal and glass and such like that too. But the DECT dongle on the back of the T5 series phone should give you the same distance as the W60B base.
We have a question from Kyle Lehman. He asked, for an office with several T4 series phones already deployed, how does the T5 series interface compare? Considering the interoperability of the devices, the need to train new employees, and a big UI change, it might be jarring. Is that the case, Craig? Or does the firmware update of 83 change all that? What's the answer?
So pretty much what we've seen is we had the same thought process last year when Yealink merged with the T5 series phone. We weren't sure how quickly they'd be adopted, and to our surprise, they were interop tested on all the platforms very quickly. So pretty much that was very easy for the service providers to really migrate to those new phones. The faster processor, faster boot times, the GUI is a little bit different, but we haven't heard nothing that they did not like the new functionality and the features of the web GUI. So is it really, in our opinion, we don't receive a lot of tech support calls for that. So so pretty much it looks like a very easy transition, and very pleasant transitions from the T4 to the T5 series. We do have customers that still offer both, but with the price variance, if a customer needs to add just one Wi-Fi dongle or one Bluetooth dongle and a T4, you're going to be completely outpriced compared to the T5 series phone that includes that for just a fraction of a price increase of the total phone.
Kyle also wanted to know about the USB Bluetooth dongle that he saw sitting next to the CP700s and the CP900. He wondered, is that required for Bluetooth connectivity? Is it a proprietary dongle, or is that just an example as an option?
Very good. So it's an example as an option. So the BT50 is only sold in a package with the CP700 and the CP900. So traditionally, we see most of the sales will be sold without the dongle, without the BT50 dongle, just because of the lower price point, because most people already have a Bluetooth device. That BT50 stands for Bluetooth 5.0. So it does provide you Bluetooth 5.0 connectivity. There are some options in the CP700 and 900 for wideband audio, and it does need that Bluetooth 4.0 or higher. So if you're looking for the ultimate audio experience, you could use that BT50 option. The part number would be the same, it's just the suffix. So, you know, CP700 and then CP700-BT50 with the additional price, you can receive that dongle. And then for those installations that maybe need wideband audio or superior sound or legacy equipment that just doesn't have the Bluetooth 4.0 or higher, that's recommended only to buy those. Good question.
And then on that subject of the CP900 and CP700, Rob Cafiel wants to know if you can use the 900 and 700 via Bluetooth to connect to the new T5 series phones.
Absolutely. That's what the new version 85 series firmware we just went over as well too. So that version 85 series firmware now allows you to connect that CP700 and CP900 by Bluetooth. So that's a big improvement as well too. So people have been asking that since those emerged as well.
And then Darren Sidweeks is asking for some clarity. In the first part of the program, you were talking about connectivity, Craig. You mentioned the 3.5 millimeter plug and also USB. Do those work together, or are they two distinct different types of connections that require two different cables? Can you explain that a little more clearly?
Yep. You would either choose to install a 3.5 millimeter plug, I would imagine, into a possible cordless phone that would support that if you needed that, or any device that would just be a 3.5 millimeter jack. And then you would use that just with the jack connected to the headset. And then obviously, I would say the most popular installation would be using the complete kit that's included, which would be plugging that 3.5 millimeter plug into the line in use indicator. And basically that, when it plugs into that, then you're going to get USB on the other side. USB for soft phone applications on your PC, for plugging anything at all as far as USB. We probably see that as the most popular installation mode for the USB. And obviously, when using with the new Yealink phones, you're going to get all those extended features using the Yealink software with the phones as well too. So that's definitely optimized for the Yealink phones when you're using USB as well.
Another question comes from David Boyd, and this deals with shipping. You talked about at the start of the webinar how Jenne has all types of shipping options, including 2-day. He says the 2-day shipping in the store seems to have a price associated with it. How do I take advantage of the no-cost 2-day shipping option with Jenne?
If you are seeing any costs, it should be minimal. Maybe just when you're choosing that, you're choosing freight insurance. So, but the actual freight is absolutely free for orders over $200 in the domestic United States, best way 2-day. So if there is any charges, if you see maybe a few dollars in there, that could be that you're choosing freight insurance on there as well too.
Okay, another question from John LeMay. He says on the UH36, can the microphone be put on either the left or right side, or is it fixed to one side only?
Very good question. Since we have been working at home for a while and we don't have our demo ourselves, we have not had a chance to open that up and try to install that. So we can certainly get back to you. I would imagine that since the wearing capability could be left or right, I would think that the software would also designate that as well too. I'm not 100% positive, but we can certainly get back to you on that and find out for sure. That'll be in the administration manual of the headset online, so we can get back to you pretty quickly on that.
Joe Bauer from Skycom Communications outside of Washington, D.C. in Columbia, Maryland asks, any word on the new Yealink wireless headsets when they will be released? Because you talked all about the wired versions. He seems to think that there's some wireless ones coming, a logical presumption. Any word on that?
So Yealink hasn't formally announced any wireless headsets yet, although look for Yealink to announce something typically at the beginning of the quarter. So I would say possibly Q3 or Q4. Nothing that we can mention at this time, but yes, that is something on the roadmap for sure. We just don't have an exact ETA on those as well too.
Robert Harney. Hello, Robert. Thank you for joining. You're certainly not a first-time webinar participant. Always glad to have you here. He wants to know, do you have a device as a service program, very similar to leasing or rental? What does Jenne or Yealink offer, anything like that?
We do both. So Jenne partners with Great America, and Great America Financing has all the options that we can provide for you as well. And then also Yealink also partners with CSSA, and we can also provide those options as well too. So for both the device as a service option as well.
Craig, who should they contact? Who should Robert or anybody else who wants to take advantage of the device as a service payment program, should they contact you, or is there someone specific, or should they just send it to the Yealink general address at Jenne?
Absolutely. Send it to the Yealink@Jenne.com, and we'll introduce them to our dedicated business development manager on our finance department. They can certainly help you with that very quickly. So we help people with that every day. So really good financing options and some good features that will help you be competitive in the marketplace. You can not only sell the phones, but you can also rent those phones as well too.
Aaron Dieter wants to know, is the T5 series and the CP900 700 GUI similar to the current GUI backend?
I don't know the CP700 900 GUI. I don't know if we can get back to you on that. I'm not sure because we haven't really, since it doesn't have an IP address, I don't know if there's going to be a GUI in that CP700 900. That's typically in the phone. But as far as the phone's GUI compared to the T4 series, it's a different GUI. We've heard rave reviews about the enhancements of the GUI in the T5 though.
Joe, why don't you unmute Joe Freistuhler? I hope I got your last name right. You've got some insight on the earlier question. I got it right. Way to go.
Yeah.
About the UH36.
Yes.
Why don't you elaborate a little bit on that, Joe?
Sure. That the boom mic on the UH36, it is adjustable. It swings 330 degrees. It has a rotate around 330 degrees. So you can simply easily rotate the mic around from one side or the other to be able to either wear it so the boom mic is either on the right side or the left side of your head.
So that's total flexibility in wearing and preference, real good personalization. Joe, while you're on, and this one's a loaded
Mhm.
question that Craig sort of answered. Richard
Sure.
Seasmus asked, why are the headsets not cordless? This is mostly what the customers are asking for and actually are expecting now. Can you elaborate on that? Is it a timing thing, or is it just simply manufacturing, or are we just caught up in delays due to COVID-19? What's the reason there's no cordless headset yet?
They're still working on testing and working the bugs out of the cordless headset. So they will be offering. I think the estimates are currently about 3 different models of cordless headsets. I don't have any part numbers or anything more. I've seen vague pictures of them at this point, but they're kind of working on a more comprehensive, headset offering, all the way from the USB headsets, on up, and then really with the USB headset, there's still quite a demand, for wired USB headsets as well as the wireless kinds. So again, they're working on offering a full, comprehensive, selection of headsets. The wired USB ones were kind of just the first ones that were able to come to market.
Good question from Richard Seasmus about wireless headsets. Darren Sidweeks, welcome back, Darren. Always good to see you here. He wants to know, Craig, what the MSRP is of the DECT dongle.
So the DECT dongle, MSRP, Joe, I'm not in front of my price guide. I'm not sure if anybody can just look at the MSRP for the DD10K DECT dongle.
The MSRP, the MSRP is $29 on the DD10K DECT dongle.
So for $29, I can turn the 41 into a DECT phone and use it in an environment on the DECT platform that normally wouldn't be able to be connected because there's maybe no Wi-Fi, or maybe it's a building where there's no Ethernet. Sounds like a bargain.
It is.
We have another question. This one comes from Rich McGahan. Hi, Rich. Glad you're here. Rich is with Integrity Voice out of Shreveport, Louisiana, down in Cajun and Creole country. He wants to know, will the V59 allow video calls to cell phones directly, or is there a need for third-party software?
So
yeah, boy, that is a tough one. Generally, they're going to work with probably there's going to need to be some kind of intermediary software. So it's not going to work like directly with like Apple Chat or something like that. There's going to have to be some kind of platform it's dialing into. I don't believe it'll go directly. I'll work on getting a more exact answer for that, but I think that probably would be a little bit of a tricky one. It's going to be more for dialing into accept video platforms, like a GoToMeeting or a Zoom or something like that. So, or directly to another zip, SIP phone that's using that same, video codec. So directly to an actual mobile phone, that might be a little bit tricky.
Well, Joe, is that SIP video? Is it what it's sending?
Correct. It's the SIP video codec. I don't remember the number designation.
8.263 or 8.264. Or
yeah,
there's a couple of different codecs. So it's going to depend on codecs. You can certainly run the Reach UC application on that's an Android-based phone, I believe, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you can run any Android, you can run a Reach UC app and connect to somebody that way. But in theory, if the networks and everything are set up, it should be able to do it. But again, great question from Rich McGahan. We have another one from Clark DeLeon. Clark, what is the setup like where is the setup, he asks, for the acoustic shield? How do you do that?
During the call, there'll be a pop-up or basically a selection you can select to enable the acoustic shield. So you don't have to have it on all the time. It's probably just a quick menu button that pops up that you can click on, enable that acoustic shield during a phone call. So it's an option that comes up when you. Yeah, it comes up. Yeah, it's an on-screen toggle while you're on an active call. So it's not something you can access unless you're on an active call.
Adam Bristol wants to know from the Jenne team, what are your recommended Yealink support options?
For resellers, we have an actual 800 number that you can contact. So you can contact any reseller can contact us directly at Jenne. You can also for basic tier 1 stuff. We're not going to be experts on everything, but we can usually either get you an answer right away on most things, or if we need to refer that and get answers quickly that way. Jenne also covers the Yealink warranty that the devices come with. So the 1-year warranty that all the Yealink phones, that they all have, is handled directly by Jenne. So you don't need to worry about creating trouble tickets with Yealink or anything like that. Jenne actually handles that Yealink warranty ourselves.
All right, so here's a real interesting multi-part question from Darren Sidweeks. Darren, this is definitely one of the most interesting cases that I've ever seen presented. It deals with Bluetooth. He wants to know, how does the Bluetooth actually work with cell phones, meaning smartphones? Can your desk phone actually act as a speakerphone for that cell phone? Meaning, instead of sending Bluetooth to a speaker, he wants to use the desk phone's speaker system for his cell phone call. And he also wants to know if you can dial your cell phone from your desk phone, meaning make calls on the cell phone by dialing from the phone, meaning can the desk phone run the dialer? That's what I thought, Darren. That's what I thought you meant. One of the most interesting set of questions I've seen today. Guys, what are the answers?
The Bluetooth functionality on the T5s, it's more going to be for pairing it with a Bluetooth headset, or like the CP700 for wireless speakerphone capability. It's not going to give you the ability to place a call on your cell phone through your desk phone or anything like that, or work, it's not going to allow your desk phone to basically become a Bluetooth speaker, for your cell phone. The CP700, CP900 would absolutely work that way, where you could connect your cell phone to the, either that personal, speakerphone, to use it as, a portable speakerphone in that way, because everyone knows that the speakerphone on your cell phone isn't always going to be, the best quality. So you could use the CP700, CP900 that way, but not really, sync your cell phone with your desk phone, in that way.
Here's a question from Ralph DiCaterino. What is the difference between the 56H handset versus the new 53H handset?
The 53 handset is it's a slightly slimmed down. It's a little bit less expensive version. The battery life isn't quite as long, so it's a slightly simplified handset. One good application though we do see with the W53, actually over the W56H, is they make a much more durable case for the W53, an actual shock-proof case for the W53. So we usually recommend like the W53 for maybe like warehouse or more rugged type environments, and maybe the W56H more for like office type environments and things like that. But the W53H isn't quite, the screen isn't quite as large. It's got a slightly shorter battery life. Still has a lithium ion battery, but slightly less battery time than the W56H. But those are kind of the applications we recommend each for.
And then Clark was wondering on the Acoustic Shield, which firmware version? Is that a result of the new 83 update, or is it does it work on prior versions?
That worked on prior versions as well. They have made additional improvements with it on the new version 85 firmware, but it was a an ability.
Okay. That wraps up our questions. There was one comment from Ralph DiCaterino. He said that feature of ESI Communications Manager premise-based system, not sure if it's available in the new ESI SIP platform. Are you guys familiar with the ESI platform?
I am not.
Sorry,
I am
Ralph.
not
No one
either.
here, no one here can answer that question. So I want to thank everybody. We had a great turnout today. I looked at it and we had a high of 80. And I'm not being the weatherman when I say that. That's a great turnout. Thank you all to our resellers who listened. Many of you hung in till the bitter end. I'm Andy Abramson, the Chief Marketing Officer from SkySwitch. We have a prize drawing. We're going to be giving away one of the new UH36 mono headsets and another of the UH36 dual headsets. You'll be able to find out who won when we post that in the blog and in the update to where you can find today's webinar. You'll be able to download it, catch all the slides. You'll be able to hear all the questions answered again. And of course, remember, you can always send your questions to yealink@jenne.com, and the entire team of Craig, Anthony, and Joe will be there, as well as your entire Jenne support staff, who all look forward to working with you and all of the SkySwitch resellers. Next week, we've got something a little different. Corey Stoker, who you all know, our VP of support, is going to be joining me as we talk all about the new feature known as appointment reminders. And we've got some really interesting insight as to why you want to use them. Corey's been diving into them for a few months. They've been live on our platform for a couple of months as well. So don't forget to sign up to next week's webinar, which is all about appointment reminders. To our folks at Jenne, I can't say thank you enough. Today's Cinco de Mayo. It's also Teachers Appreciation Day. So for those of you who remember your teachers, or those of you who have kids in school, it's time to appreciate them on Cinco de Mayo. Maybe you want to send them something in fitting form. Thank you very much. I'm Andy Abramson. Look forward to seeing you and hearing you again next week. Craig, Anthony, Joe, thank you.
Thank you.